Do you want to play with me?
Yeah, I'm playing with you.
What's going on, YouTube? Dorito here with LuchMob Garage, and today we got ourselves an awesome unit. It's a Tao Motor 200U UTV side-by-side. This thing just came out. It's 169cc. It's got some blingy wheels. I don't know too much about it yet, but I'm going to get it out. We're going to get it together. We're going to show you guys the steps of putting this together. It doesn't look like it's too bad, but I'll go over the good and the bad with assembly, and then we'll go ahead and check this thing out, and I'll give you guys my opinion. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and speed this up, getting it out of the crate and everything like that. I am going to have a little assistance with the forklift since Luch is high atop Luch Mountain. And we're going to go ahead and get this done real quick and show you guys what it's all about. So let's get on with it, shall we? All right, guys, we're back. You've seen how it was to uncrate it. There is several bolts in the crating. I noticed is very, very good. So in the shipping, you're not going to have to worry as much about somebody bumping it and damaging something. It's pretty solid. I'm really impressed with the crating. It was really bolted down real good. And the pallet, or the bottom underneath, was more of the crate slid into it. So it was real nice there and kept it in solid. Everything was bolted down. Really came out good. As far as I've seen, there's no scratches, there's no damage, no nothing. So with your shipping, you should be pretty sure that it's all going to be solid. And that's always something you have to worry about when you get these. But overall, excellent so far. So we definitely got a 2 thumbs up on that. The other thing I noticed too is on the shock mount bolts, and I was unloading all the parts and stuff, because there is more to putting this together, okay? But I was unloading that, and I noticed that every bolt and nut that comes in here, it actually shows, like this is the front shock bolts, and it shows where these bolts go in. We'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit on that, but you guys can see the bolts came in a bag, so it's pretty self-explanatory. You guys shouldn't have an issue with that, being able to figure out how to put this together. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and put those bolts on, and then as well too, you have all the lug nuts. They all came with the stuff too. It shows 8 lug nuts. There's a little instructional paper as well of how to put that on. So you guys will pretty much like that. And then the wheels on it, you have some real nice blingy aluminum wheels that I'm really impressed with. They look good. You know, you got to air them up and you got to put them on. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put on those front shock bolts. You had to put on the rear shock bolts as well too. But when you're lifting it out of the crate, that is the time you should do it, okay? So picture your regular GY6 engine cradle without the shock bolts. You know, it does swing down. So you want to go ahead and bolt that in first before you lift it out of the crate, because it's going to be easier to do, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here like we did when we was uncrating. I'm going to speed up this process because it's just putting on the wheels and it's just putting on the shock bolts. And we want to get through this thing so you guys can enjoy this video and understand it quick enough to get yours together and get down the road, okay? So I'll get right on that and we'll speed this up. Hope you guys like it. All right, guys, we're back, and now we got the wheels on. We got the tires aired up, It's ready to set down, but it's easier for me to show you guys this and assemble it as such. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the front end on. Now, as you guys see here, and I'll go ahead and post a little picture on that as well. It shows exactly where the bolts go in. This thing is awesome, people. This thing is literally showing me where every single bolt goes on this unit. So it's a no-brainer. You just follow the instructions, and it's got pictures. And Luch loves pictures. That's the best thing for him. So next one we assemble, he's gonna love it because everything is there. It explains everything. Luch is gonna love this. So what I'm gonna do is you're gonna take and you put the front clip, which is your headlight assembly and stuff like that. You're gonna end up putting that on first and then connecting your lights. And then you're gonna end up putting on your front bumper as well. It's gonna go into inserts. And you'll see that on the instructions along with the bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. And what I'm gonna try and do too is put on the bottom in a caption of the size bolts, the size nut, and everything like that that you guys need to use on this. All right, so let's get on with this. I'm gonna speed this up, people. Guys, we're back, and now we're onto the rear plastics here, the tail light assembly and stuff like that, which is pretty easy peasy. And it's really easy since you got the instructions and you got all the bolts, what they're supposed to be, everything's labeled up. Again, I'm saying that because it's super important. Now, one thing I also noticed when I went to go get ready to go ahead and set this up to put back is this thing's also fuel injected, people. See, we're going to check that out as well too. That makes a big change to a lot of stuff. It makes it where easy start. It makes it where you don't have to worry about clogged up carburetors anymore. There's a lot of stuff that takes care of it. So anyways, you got the instructions right here. It shows you which bolts you're supposed to use on each side and exactly numbered ones of what they're supposed to do. And I'll show that to you guys here real quick. As you guys can see that there, it's pretty self-explanatory. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to put on the rear tail light assembly as well as the hooks for the rear trunk. Okay, so let's get on with it, shall we? Alright guys, we're back. Now we got the rear on. You got to make sure there's a bracket under here that's the main bracket where you run your lights over and everything and you plug it in. You got to make sure and loosen up that bracket a little bit so you can align the bumper here. And that's pretty much the hardest part of it, which only takes a few minutes more. It's not really hard at all. These are little push-in clips. They pop right in, you put them in there, and then you got your bolts on each side. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure when you do put it on, you want to fit everything. You want to put all the bolts in, all the nuts in, and you want to leave them loose until you get everything aligned. And once you get everything aligned, then you'll be able to snug it up. It becomes a lot smoother. Then you're going to take one of your zip ties and you're going to end up plugging in your lights. Now, you do want to leave your zip tie a little loose until once you get in your battery, you can go ahead and see and make sure that your left signal is not your right signal, because you might need to switch the plugs on that. So that's no issue. It's real easy peasy. So you'll do a complete button up of everything once you get it together. And again, that's where these bags come in real handy, because you take them all, you get all your bolts and everything like that, all your bags, and then you put them all together with your instruction back into the bag. And then once you're done, you can go ahead and if you made a mistake or if there's warranty issues or something like that, you know you've put this stuff in, right? so you can go ahead and save the bags, and then once you got it all together, you can go over everything and make sure it's okay. Okay, so let's throw that over there. So now what we're going to do after that is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the seats on, and we're going to get the battery in first. We're going to get the seats on, and then we're going to go ahead and get the steering wheel on. So I'll go ahead and get situated for that and get right back to you guys, okay? Okay, so this is your battery. It was very easy connection. You got a positive and a negative. It's very simple to connect. You got your positive right here, you got your negative. There's enough line in there where you guys can lift the battery out, connect everything, set it into place, and then reroute your wiring. Set the battery accordingly, so you got your positive on this side and your negative on this side. It's definitely a no-brainer, another instructional thing. So we're gonna get onto the seats right now, okay? Okay guys, so now we're onto the seats, which are real basic. You're gonna end up setting your seat belts aside, okay? And you're just gonna slide your passenger side into place. And it goes into little clips in the back here on the bars. And then there's 2 bolts. Those bolts are gonna go down into the hole, okay? And you will end up putting, again, it comes with the instructions, and the nuts are right here. You will end up putting those underneath. It's very easy to get to. And I'm gonna end up fast forwarding that, but I wanted to show you how easy these seats went in, okay? So you got that one set into place. You're gonna tighten up the bolt. And then this one here, which you guys can see, it has sliders because it's adjustable, okay? And there's another set of sliders there on top of where it sits with the battery. Okay, so what you're gonna do with that, it's real easy. You're gonna set it down, set it into the rails, slide it back, then you're gonna pull your lever up and clip it, and then you're locked in, okay? So you got your seat on. Now, I want to point out something. There's no need to worry when you'd be like, well, aren't you gonna put on the roll cage first? Well, no, because I'm building upward. There's no need to worry about how you're gonna put your seatbelt in or how you're gonna put your roll bars in, because the bolt lines up right here behind this seat. It's real easy to get to. And the same with that one. That's easier to get to because the seat is adjustable. So you don't need to worry about that, and you'll see the instructions along with it, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and bolt these seats down real quick, and then we'll get onto the steering wheel, which is gonna be 3 quick bolts. Just goes on right here, 1, 2, 3, steering wheel done, bam. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of speeding up process. It's not gonna be that long, but let's get on with it. All right, people, we're onto the roll cage now, and as you guys can see, it's 2 pieces here, and then you got the 2 additional support bars here. Now, again, it comes with all the instructions you need to put it together. It's going to show you where the bolts go, where the nuts go, and it goes together real simple. I'll show you guys this thing again. It came in the bag of the bolts, okay, with the bolts as well too. So what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to use this to see exactly what you need to do, just like everything else, and get it together. So anyways, you got them. It's going to bolt up here, it's going to bolt up here, it's going to bolt up here, and it's going to bolt up there. Then you have 2 additional supports that are going to go up once you bolt that whole cage together. But what I'm going to do first now is I'm going to speed this up, of course. I'm going to assemble the first part of the cage here and then set it into place, and then I'll put the other bars on it, okay? So anyways, as usual, let's get on with it, shall we? Okay guys, we're back. Now you see we got the roll cage all bolted up, which was not bad at all. Once again, make sure when you put this together, don't tighten up all your bolts completely until you get it on and in position. Once you get it on in position, you can tighten everything up and it becomes pretty snug and it's uniform how it's supposed to be, and it pops into place. Now, this is just the roof here. We've got the roof, and then we have the side doors and stuff like that, the door netting. And we're gonna go ahead and put that on, and we're gonna speed it up. And then after that, we have the mirrors, and we're pretty much done with this. So I'm gonna speed up this process, and we'll get right back to you guys and give you an overall synopsis of my opinion of this cart. All right? All right, guys, so there you have it. I just finished up putting on the little side nets. I put on the mirrors. You bolted everything up. Now, the key to putting this together is everything that you do put together, make sure to follow the instructions. Make sure you use the proper bolts. Make sure you put everything on and don't tighten it up until you got everything connected per piece that you're putting together per the directions. In other words, once you get something in there, you got all the bolts on it, don't tighten up all the bolts till you got it completely set into position and tightening it down, because it's really, really easy. This is one of the easiest carts, side-by-sides, UTVs I've ever put together, and that's the honest truth. It's very easy. The instructions are right there. Not that it doesn't take a little bit of time, but all the instructions are right there. So what we did was we ended up getting the doors on, we got the mirrors on, we got the roof on, we ended up having to put the wheels on, and we ended up having to mount the shocks as well. We ended up having to mount the front clip, which is just your light assembly, and then your front bar here. And then we had to mount the roll bar, as well as mount the rear stuff. So everything came out pretty easy. I really like these wheels. I really like the whole cart. I'm not gonna start it up right now because we're gonna do a final safety check video and a startup at that time. But I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to assemble this and how easy it is to go to the instructions. Now, once you do get all your instructions done, one thing you want to do for sure is you want to take all your assembly instructions, okay? And you want to put them in the bag. So then you keep them there. Then that way there, when you have all your assembly instructions, you know there's no more bolts left, you know there's no more stuff left, you know you've done it right, okay? So then keep that up, and then that way there you got something to use a reference for, okay? So we'll put that up there. And then last but not least, this is what you guys got here. This is the Tao Motor YK200U1. It's a really cool little side-by-side. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff on one of these. We're going to be reviewing it. We're going to be going over it because you know here at LuchMob Garage, we love our carts, we love our buggies, we love side-by-sides. So I think this one's going to be added to the arsenal. But not this particular one, but one of these. So anyways, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to come back to LuchMob Garage. And don't forget to check out all the Tao Motor products. I'll put a link below to your dealers, as well as the manufacturer as well too, so you can see all their products. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.